Hey guys, in this video I'm going to go over how I process some of the old Commodore Format posters. I was a big fan of these growing up. Every magazine that I bought, the poster would go up for the month, and yeah, I really loved the artwork. It was a big influence on my art style as well. These kind of pastel-y type tones, all hand painted, and yeah, they looked awesome. So I'm just going to be showing you the process I used to get these to the Commodore 64 type of high-res multicolor bitmaps. So I'm gonna work on the Predator one. So I've loaded it up into Photoshop, and as you can see, we've got the divide of the magazine basically cutting across this. So I do have to do a little bit of work here. So one thing I can do quite easily is to patch them up with the spot heal there. So I'm just going to duplicate the layer just so I've got the original, just in case I want to refer back to it. I'm just going to see how good spot heal works here. I'm not going to use it for the main piece because it's a little bit more tricky to get that right, and the spot heal won't work. So I can really see that fold of the print there. So I'm just going to clone stamp for most of this. It's a little bit of a slow process, but I just have to be kind of mindful of everything looking as good as possible. So this is probably how you would remaster a photo or touch up a photograph of like an old family photo or something like that. You could use this process. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the spot heal here. I actually deleted a few bits. So back to that. And it's like struggling to differentiate that line there. So I do have to then paint it. Now I did make up a brush that was ideal for this. It was like a print brush, and I've no idea if I still got it, but let's just try this one. I think that's good. So I'm just going to sample some colors nearby and kind of just work on this a little bit of opacity. It's hard to make it look like an actual painting, but I'll do my best here. The good thing is it's just this horizontal line that needs fixed up. It doesn't have to be too accurate, it just needs to be enough so that when I bring it into backdrop designer to process, then it's not going to look really obvious. I can really see that highlight there, so I'm gonna darken that, and I'm just squinting one eye to see this properly. Notice all these bits, they're getting a little bit too bright. This is acting more like a smudge tool. I guess that's because it is. These are all seem to be smudge tools. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, this one looks a bit better. They're very strong opacity. Right, it's a bit better. So I see like all this bit's dark and all this bit's light. I really need to pick from better area. This process is kind of tedious and really optional depending on what you're doing. If you've got your own artwork, you know, it'd be a lot easier because you don't have this divide down the middle, but this is just a process I'll use to fix that. And this is all going to be crunched down into big chunky pixels because we've got less resolution to play with anyway, but it's just good to, I'll process some of this out as much as I can. I'm just squinting my eye just to help compare the contrast. So I'll close one eye and then half close the other one, and it kind of makes a nice blur, and it just helps me see, it helps, you know, blur out the detail so that I can just focus on the contrast. You can see those tonal changes here and there. I just want to bring a bit of that in. Yeah. Of course, this is not going to matter too much once it's put into Backdrop Designer to process. It's almost there, just a little bit left to do, and I can really see some obvious bits. So it really stands out what bits need fixing it. Zoom right out. Yeah, it's really obvious when I zoom out here. Amazing that that little dark line just makes that fold. See, this is it's just a tedious process because normally you wouldn't have to worry about this if it was your own artwork. But I think that'll do it. I think the rest I'll kind of catch after the process stage, just to be sure. Though I'll just yeah. Right, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to also get rid of the Commodore Format bit because that will turn out a bit of a mess for the size of it. So I'll just go completely over that, and hopefully Photoshop just does some magic, and a little bit at the top as well. A bit here, yeah, good. And these bottom bits I don't need, so I just want this part, like so, and I'm just going to crop that, like so, and I want to also make sure the resolution matches, but I can do all that later. The only issue is I want the background to kind of be the same, so let's see, what I could do is just copy this into a new document, and I'll say So 1280 is my width, 1600, so 1280 divided by times 2 is 2560, and 2400 high, I think. No, 1600 high. Right, and I paste that in here. It doesn't matter if I reduce it down a bit, I'll just change that to bilinear and move that up a bit, and it should be ready in a second. So I'll duplicate that one and just use that backdrop there. I'll flip it that way. Gonna merge these together, and then I'll just kind of see what it manages to fix. Yeah, I mean that's good enough, right? I'll just let it kind of blend these bits in. And now I'll just grab that brush. Right, there's still a bit of obvious folding there, so I'll just check out what it looks like when it's pixelated and see if there's anything needed done there. But I'm going to levels adjust this just to get a full tone range from that. I have no idea how this detail is going to turn out, but let's just crunch that up a bit more. And now you can really see that obvious line, but I don't want to spend too much time with it. So now that that's done, let me just do a little bit of blurring between these tones. Right, that's good enough for now. So I'm going to save that as a processed image. I can save it as a JPEG, that's fine. So this will be the Predator poster. And I'm going to use the tool that I created called Backdrop Designer. I've just done a build of that. Let me just extract that out. And I'll run this. Okay, so now I just need to load in a custom image. That'll be the poster. Okay, it's the right ratio, so I'm just going to plonk it down using this little square down here, and I'm going to switch on the pixel mode. You can see the colours look quite different from you'd expect, so you can switch through these different pixel modes to get something that works, and also the dither range and the dither image. Quite like this one. It's just a case of fine tuning that. Now I can also make the sky and the bottom the same colour and fade this out a little bit. You see it doesn't really inherit a lot of purple from that. So I can also, I'll duplicate the layer, just copy and paste. And that's now going to be the most recent plot. And I can try colour that. And let's choose some tones here, so I'll just right click, maybe tab, get a few changes and see how that looks. Yeah, so the purple doesn't quite cut it, but you can get some nice effects. What if I did like that, the sort of predator scope effect? It basically goes through the different tones like that. Play around with these. It's like when he does the heat graph. So I can play around with these tones and then play around with the different levels. But yeah, I quite like the way that looks anyway, so I'll just hide that layer and I'll play around with the dither range. Now I do have this extended pixel which doubles the resolution and gives you a few extra colours, and you get that kind of effect. But once that's done, you can basically save this out. So I'm going to go for different dither range. I'm going to go for this one, different dither image. Go for that one, it's a little bit cleaner. I quite like the darker blend as well. Oh, I don't know, I really think that's nice. Quite dark. Right, so if I like that kind of thing, I save that out and I'll put that into Predator C64 Dark. Right, and I can switch off the pixel blend to a lighter tone and then bring in the dark one. And then go a layer above and I'll place that down, and then I can choose how much of that I want, and that just gives me a way of kind of a hacky contrast, and you can really see that fold still, so it's picking a lot of darker tones. So I would really need to work on that, but once that's done and I'm happy with it, I'm just going to save it out as so Predator to fix, because it needs the restriction properties fixed. So I'm just going to go to mcDraw and then I would load in the image here. To fix, and I'll just say accept changes, and that's fixed all the restriction properties, so there's no bad blocks, and now I can basically just export as a PNG, PRG or KLA file. Might want to do more work on it though, that's the only thing, like especially the kind of line showing up there still from the poster, a few bits like that, but that's the basis of it. So if you've got your own image, you can use Backdrop Designer, or you can bring it straight into here. Now if I was to import the this one, you can see the dithering's not quite as good. It does have a dither range effect here, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, right? And you can play around with the, you know, these things as well. Saturation, that's quite nice, and the hue. But it's pretty much a processed image, you know, just the same as Backdrop Designer is, but I've got a few different dither patterns. This doesn't really have that option. I think that's pretty cool. Don't know why that didn't update there, but yeah, that's the process there. So thanks for watching this video, and have a good day. I hope you enjoy making some Commodore 64 art this way, and catch you later. Bye.